All right, so I'm gonna go through our top coat options. I'm gonna be doing our glaze coat here, which is a flood coat of epoxy. We'll do our gloss urethane here, and then our matte urethane. So I'll kind of show you how to roll each one out, and I'll kind of explain the top coats as I apply them. So we have our glaze coat mixed up here. It's basically, we're gonna do a flood coat. And if you have, imperfections in the surface or debris and stuff, which we always get in here because we're in a big warehouse, you can lightly sand that, 220 grit or higher, do circular motions. You can spot sand or you can sand the entire counter. You just wanna be careful on the faces and edges. You really wanna do that by hand and be really light. So we're basically gonna apply this like we do our base coat. So we're gonna pour a bead down the middle. And then we're gonna use a foam roller. Anytime you're doing a glaze coat, flood coat, top coat, just with epoxy, use a foam roller because it's not gonna shed hairs. Last thing you want to do is apply your final epoxy coat and you have all these roller hairs in it from your roller. So we always like to use a foam roller on this coat because we don't have to worry about that. So now we're just going to cross roll it. Again, this is the same process as we do on our base coats. Always like to get the back edge done first, that way I'm not leaning over on epoxy dripping that's on the front. Want to make sure we get all the way up on that tape. This is made to go about 50 square foot a gallon. If you put it on too thick, it can kind of get cloudy. So you don't want to put it on really, really thick. So all I'm doing is just rolling that bead out to the rest of the counter. And once I kind of have it spread out everywhere, we're just going to lightly let the roller glide across the surface, and it's going to show us where really thick spots are. I'm not applying any pressure, just kind of letting it glide on the surface. And then I'll start to run that down these edges a little bit. So I'll roll on the top, roll on my face here. Make sure you get that corner. And then we always want to roll about a foot and then get some more product on that roller. And then roll another foot or so. And then we'll jump around to this other side. So again, roll a little on the top, roll the face. Now if you want that glass smooth finish, this is the top coat you're gonna wanna choose. It basically lays out like a layer of glass. It's always good to get different angles and just make sure everything's been hit, because it is kind of hard to tell, you know, if you have a mist spot, because it's all glossy already. And then if you have, we already have debris that's fallen in it, you can pick that stuff out with like a toothpick. That's real simple, just like you do your base coat in the counter kits. So now we're gonna do our gloss urethane right here. These are our most durable top coats because they go on thin. They have a little texture to them, which gives them extreme durability, scratch resistance, and they're also really easy to apply. So we're using a 3/8 snap roller, and it's been de-shedded. We wrap tape on it because we want to get all those loose fibers, those loose hairs off. So I'm going to take a minute, kind of soak this roller up. And then we're going to run a strip right down the middle. And then we're going to just cross roll that. So similar install technique here. And we don't have plastic down because this stuff really doesn't drip. It doesn't go on thick. You just would want a plastic, you know, anywhere the roller might touch your cabinets. Just run a piece of tape, not plastic, just a piece of tape there. And then you just want to work quick as we're applying this. You want to do about sections this long. You don't want to try to do your whole counter at once because it will start to set up. So do about 2 to 3 foot sections at a time. Roll it out really good. Make sure we get all the way in that back area. So once we get that spread out good, now we're just gonna roll our face. And then we wanna roll on the top, because if I roll that corner, it flattens off my roller there. So I wanna kinda get that roller nice and flattened out again, not having a line in it. And then we'll just do our final back roll. I'm just being really light. Got a little much product there just on that edge, so we'll redo that. There we go. Make sure you overlap. And I'm really not applying any pressure, just being really light, kind of letting it glide on the surface there. And then again, we want to look at all angles, make sure everything's hit, we don't have any mist spots. We can't go back after we get, you know, onto another section and roll a mist spot, because it's gonna already be tacking up. It's gonna show your roller line there. So make sure before you move on, everything's coated and you're done. So now we'll do the matte urethane. We're gonna apply it the same way. And it's just gonna have a really dull finish to it. Looks really, really cool. All right, so again, we're gonna roll right down the middle. Might have a little much on this roller here. Again, this stuff's made to go on thin. You definitely don't want to stretch it. You don't want your roller sounding sticky or dry. But you don't want it puddled up or like thick edges from your, like if I rolled it out, we obviously don't want to leave thick lines like that. The nicer it looks when you're done, the better it's gonna look when it dries. So just want to really roll this out good. And we'll hit our faces. You want to make sure you hit that corner too. Sometimes you miss those spots when you just do the face and the top. And we want to roll that indent out from hitting the edge. The spot where most people miss spots is right on this edge. So really roll that edge good. You know, usually not focus right to that corner. And then we're gonna just do the same thing. Nice and even back roll, overlapping just a little, being really light. And notice we don't really have like roller lines. You can kind of just see, you know, a couple thicker spots, but they're not actual lines. So that's kind of what we're looking for. So there's our 3 top coats. When these are dry, we'll show you guys how they look the next day, kind of go over it. Okay, so the top coats are dry. I'll just go over them real quick. So here's no top coat. You can kind of see the line here where we did the glaze coat. So this is no top coat. We highly recommend doing the top coats if you're doing spray paints and just in general because it adds a lot of durability. As you can see, this is a lot higher gloss, really thick flood coat basically. Over here we have our 2 urethanes. This is our gloss urethane, our matte urethane. The urethanes are a lot more durable and scratch resistance than even the glaze coat because they do have a texture. It's not bad, but just walking in, it looks high gloss, amazing. But if you get up close at the right angle, it does have a little texture to it, but that's what keeps them extremely durable. The matte is obviously just a dull finish, really, really popular, looks amazing. So those are the 3 top coat options. They can basically go over any surface, add durability, wear, all kinds of stuff.
Hey Leggari friends, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single project. See you guys next time, and remember, Leggari.com has you covered.